What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a quick look at the Tartakovsky, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, animated Clone Wars wave. There are 6 figures in the line, and I want to say thank you to Boss Bounty. He was able to send me a set from the United Kingdom. Star Action Figures, SAF over there, delivers their products to consumers very well protected. And Tim was kind enough to actually send me a set so I didn't have to deal with Walmart. These are Walmart exclusives over here in the US, and while they are trickling out, we're starting to see them show up on eBay from US sellers. In general, they're not quite in mass here, and I just didn't want to deal with kind of the possibility of damage coming from Walmart, so Tim was kind enough to deliver me a really nice, very clean set, and we're going to go through each one of these kind of very quickly, but I just wanted to show them to folks. You can obviously go to the experts' YouTube channels, Boss Bounty and Only One Kenobi. I'm sure that they have covered these at length, but I thought that we would take a closer look at them on my channel as well, and let's dig into them one by one. In no particular order, I just went ahead and pulled out the ARC Trooper Captain. This is VC213, and I am absolutely in love with the card art for all of these. There's something about having this kind of animated card back really pops for me, and why I fell in love with him in the first place. But you got the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Limited logo up there. I really like how they kind of did it a little bit differently with the Clone Wars logo. They could have been lazy and used the kind of same Clone Wars style logo that they use for a number of other TVC, but to kind of give it that, you know, animated style look, they went with the animated style logo, and I love that. It's just a nice touch. Here's the ARC Trooper Captain. I don't have any of the original TVC issues, so it's nice to be able to get these, but how awesome does he look? He's got those big oversized blaster pistols with the holsters, and those guys go through the figures themselves and the articulation in more detail. I'm, of course, a mint-on card collector. Now, what I'm hoping that, number one, I hope that they start going to the thicker card back. Hasbro's been talking about doing it, but unfortunately this wave of figures did not get that thicker style card back that we saw with the Antok Merrick release. Unfortunately, it is still the thin card back, but it's still pretty nice though. I mean, it's still pretty good quality, and at least the ones I got from Boss Bounty are in really impeccable condition. But what I'm hoping, what I love to see happen from Hasbro is this kind of enlarged photo type format. I think looks so much better than showing other figures in the wave. And I know part of it is because this is from the show, and this is kind of like the showing the art style from the show. But man, how awesome would it be if they did something similar with all future releases for the TVC, is to maybe pull up some scene from the movies for the card backs, and I'm okay with changing this up to only have these for the 50th anniversary, but I would love to have something like this on the back of all TVC, and just include a scene from the movies instead of having the figures. But I doubt it ever happens, but it sure would be nice. But that is VC213, the ARC Trooper Captain, and that is just an awesome figure. Next up is VC212. I did these out of order. I'm sorry, you're going to have to live with it. But this is the ARC Trooper. I actually like the card art on this one better than I do on the ARC Trooper Captain. I just think it looks really kind of epic with how he's presented there on that card. And obviously he's just a repaint, but man, how nice does he look with those blues? I really love this figure. I can't say enough good things about the card art on these, and the actual figures themselves are really, really pop. But there he is on the back of the card there. But VC212 looks great. I think that this one really captures the animated style Clone Wars show in just kind of an epic pose there on that card back. Next up is VC214. This is Barris Alfie, and wow, this is just an amazing figure. They really went with kind of the nice purple hues on the outfit, and then with the paint apps. And I have heard rumors that Barris Alfie is going to be making an appearance in one of the Disney Plus shows soon. And I don't know where that's coming from or what the rumors are specifically, but I do remember reading that. And I've also noticed that her first appearance comic book, which I don't remember which one it is now off the top of my head. I know I'm a wealth of information right now, but her first appearance comic has jumped up quite a bit. It's gone up into kind of the $400 to $500 range. So clearly the market is thinking that Barris Alfie is going to be seen in some live action content here soon. But here is VC 214. What an awesome card back. It just looks great. And, you know, again, this is what I really liked about this wave is that none of them are ones that I really had. And when you combine it with the cartoony / comic book aspect of the card art, it was a must-have for me. And I'm just glad I didn't have to deal with Walmart and getting these in clean condition, because they just really pop. Another beautiful one is this one, Luminara Unduli. Luminara Unduli. It sounds so Italian. I just love this figure as well. And you can see a nice close-up of her mold there. Look at that head sculpt. It looks amazing. Great detail to the figure. I'm just so glad they went with some of these cloth goods for the robes and the skirts for the ARC troopers. Look how beautiful that card art is. Just awesome. Just awesome. And she is VC 215, and you can see her there kind of deflecting a laser blaster with her saber back at the battle droids, and we're going to go over the battle droid here next, but look how awesome that is. So this is VC 215. Now, the interesting thing about Luminara Unduli is that I do actually have a Luminara Unduli that's very similar in terms of style in my collection. And let me wipe off a little bit of the dust off the acrylic case. But this is the 2002 Saga version of Luminara Unduli. Now, this is a prototype figure. This is a first shot prototype. And if I can get it to focus, it's tough with everything in the background, but this is first shot prototype, and it's labeled as Blue Saber, and that's because the actual retail release for Luminara Unduli came with a different colored saber. I think it was like a greenish saber, if memory serves me. But this is the original Saga figure, and it didn't have a lot of articulation because it was really just a display kind of figure. But this is one of the more artistic figures in my collection. You can see the amazing detail that was on this first shot prototype skirt. So this is a completely unpainted figure. It came with, the alternate colored saber with a blaster deflection. And that's the other interesting aspect, is that her Saga figure came with a blaster deflection, and the back of the card back shows her deflecting a blaster shot. So that's a really interesting thing that I just now noticed as I pulled this out, is that, I think it's a weird coincidence, but I thought it was worth talking about, is that, her original 2002 Saga figure, very much it's life imitating art, because the blaster deflection shot on the back of the card back really nicely matches this Saga prototype. But I just thought I'd break this one out. And again, this was graded 90. I picked this up at an eBay auction, and it was listed as an unpainted figure, but I knew immediately that it was an actual prototype because the saber was an alternate saber color that it came with. So very, very cool first shot prototype to match along with this awesome animated style Clone Wars version of her, and very happy to have this one as part of the collection now. Next up, we've got the Battle Droid. So this is another interesting reissue or repaint or whatever you want to call it for the Battle Droid. We've had a couple of them here recently. We obviously had the reissue, I believe it's VC 78. I'm going on memory, so don't quote me on that. For the Battle Droid on the original card back. We've had the Gaming Greats version of the Battle Droid. And we also now have this one. So it's kind of a nice one to add to the list. And obviously this looks like it's painted in a little bit brighter orange color to kind of match the card art and the style from the show. It looks really great inside the packaging. And, I'm excited to get back from Collector Archive Services my Gaming Greats version of the Battle Droid, so we can compare it to this one in more detail side by side. But this is probably the least exciting of them all, but this is VC 216. But I do like it. I think it was kind of a necessary one to add, since the rest of these really are, the good guys, so to speak. This is the only kind of bad guy in this line, and it's a very quick repaint for Hasbro to do, but I think it's a nice addition, and I do like the way it looks with that card art. So it's one that was necessary, albeit probably the most boring of the bunch. Of the Jedi, this one is easily my favorite. This is Ayla Sakura. I did not have her original, TVC 1.0 release, so it's nice to get a second chance at Ayla Sakura. Combine it with this amazing card art, and this one really pops for me. I just love the way this looks. This Twilight kind of card art just screams awesomeness. I can't say enough good things about this card art. It just, all the blues really do it for me. She doesn't present nearly as nicely as maybe as Barris Alfie and Luminara Unduli do, just because of the way the cloak wraps around her inside the blister. But that card art just absolutely seals it for me. This is, again, is VC 217, and she has the best card back too. I mean, look how awesome that looks on the back there. So just an incredible wave that I think was a nice, even though they're basically reissue figures, the fact that Hasbro went to the extra effort with new card back art and, you know, some other kind of aspects to the cards that that got it away from just a simple lazy reissue. This is how a reissue should be done in my mind, versus just slapping the same figure in an updated card back. I just love the way this turned out. So it's a great wave. I highly recommend it. Obviously, we'll be seeing these in larger numbers here in the U.S. here soon. But I do want to say thank you to Boss Bounty again for getting me such a near mint example of all of these figures. I just really appreciate you taking the time to do that. So that's all I really had for this video. Let me know what questions you have. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.